Happy morning. Hearty welcome to each one of you for this today's Vidwas Sabha, one-day seminar on labor law compliance. Bangalore branch is a new initiative to look for opportunities in other avenues or areas where CA can look into and make a practice opportunity to enhance the areas of practice other than the regular or traditional areas. CA is normally capable to study and understand any laws because of their training, the practical training or practical approach, and the syllabus it gives a lot of input on various acts and laws across India, even on international level. So we thought, why not we look into the area of labor law and expertise in that. That is the reason, this is the beginning of that specialized area to look into. So today's program is structured in a way to understand the glimpses of labor law. Later we are planning to conduct a workshop so that we can equip our members to give a proper advice to their clients and make it one of the line of the vertical of their practice. To inaugurate today's one-day seminar, we have invited an eminent personality, Regional Provident Fund Commissioner, Bangalore 1 region. We have with us Shri Maneesh Agnihotri is with us. And also the coordinator of this program, CA Saraswati Kasturi Rangan is with us. I request the branch chairman to escort the dignitaries on the dais. And also welcome them to the floral bouquet. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Thank you, Chairman. Now I request the branch chairman to present the welcome address.
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा. Distinguished chief guest of today's program, Shri Maneesh Agnihotri, the coordinator and brain behind structuring this program, Shri CA Saraswati Kasturi Rangan, DTCP, the chairman of Bangalore branch, the managing committee members of Bangalore branch, and the dignitaries of the dais, today's eminent speakers of various sessions, and my dear esteemed members of this profession, dear chartered accountants, good morning to all of you. Vidvat Sabha. People are asking, what do you mean by Vidvat Sabha? Somebody wanted to split the word with what? Sabha. So, Vidvat Sabha means basically it is just meeting of the scholars. Vidvat means the scholar. Vidwan is the person who has achieved that knowledge level called scholar. So, Vidvat Sabha means the meeting of the learned people, meeting of the intellects for the purpose of better understanding certain aspects which is going to add to their practice of the knowledge base. Friends, Bengal branch, as you know, has been doing a lot of programs for the benefit of members. And one of such program is Vidvat Sabha, which is normally the one-day seminar. And for this, today's program is basically about the labor law compliance. And for this labor law compliance, we felt it is important for us to have one of the eminent speaker on the resource persons coming from the department to open and inaugurate today's program. When we approached Shri Maneesh Agnihotri, because in order to enlighten and light the lamp and start, Agnihotri has to come. Therefore, it is the advice from Saraswati Kasturi also, why can't we invite Maneesh Agnihotri to light the lamp? So we felt, yes, this is a wonderful opportunity, let us meet Shri Agnihotri. And when we approached Maneesh Agnihotri, he has readily accepted. And he said, you want me to talk to the brilliant brains of this world? That's the exact word he has used. Give me a big round of applause. The chartered accountants are the scholars, they are the brains of the country. You want me to talk to them? It's really afraid. He felt that is this really, am I capable of addressing? I said, definitely yes, sir. We want people like you to come and meet our chartered accountants. He has really accepted, and accordingly he has joined us today and graced the occasion. Please give him a big round of applause. Sir, wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. And also I welcome Saraswati Kasturi, who has been instrumental for arranging this kind of a program. She has always been helping and supporting hand and a motivational person for the managing committee members and particularly to me. And she has accepted to support us and structure the program and also identify the experts to handle the various sessions. Thank you very much, madam, for your support. Friends, I would like to extend a warm welcome to each one of you and also all the eminent speakers for today's program. Any program Bengal branch conducts, the success of the program is not just dependent on the speakers on the dais, it's also dependent on how many members attend and get benefited out of it. So your active participation of coming in and again making it as an interactive session is going to be instrumental for the success of our program. So wholeheartedly on behalf of the Bengal branch and other managing committee members, we welcome each one of you for today's program. Friends, why we wanted to start practice opportunity in labor law is because nowadays, after globalization, so many things are happening, and our profession is, getting in a kind of disturbance mode. Should I focus on the company side? Should I focus on RERA? Should I focus on real estate? Should I focus on the GST? Should I focus on transfer pricing? Where should I focus today, right? So people are lost. Many people felt that okay, low hanging fruit, GST, everybody is talking about that, let me get into that. But certain important areas are kept aside, left ignored. So if that is the situation, why should not we get into those areas also, untapped opportunities, and try to help, for better compliance practices. So actually, in the in Bengal branch itself, we have got more than 13,500 chartered accountants, and out of them, more than about 8,000 chartered accountants are in industries, either in the CFO level or the director finance level or the manager finance level or some of the managerial levels, and the rest of them are in practice. Actually, if you look at, more than 83% of the tax collection in India happened through chartered accountants. This is the report not by us, it is by the CBDT, it is by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, it is by the Finance Minister. So that being the situation, if we are able to help to the government to make that much of tax collection, why should not PF department make use of the help of the chartered accountants and ensure that the recovery level, the compliance level of the PF department is increased to a different level altogether, right? So actually, if you look at any corporate today, how much PF need to be remitted is not decided by the HR. How much PF is not remitted is not reported by the HR. It is prepared and accounted by the chartered accountants there and reported by the chartered accountants. However, in the PF Act, if you look at, there is no mention, there is absolutely no mention about the Chartered Accountants Service. This is a real need today actually. So if you look at any other law, take it for example the company set, or the GST, or the income tax, there is a mention about Chartered Accountant in order to ensure that the compliance takes place at the ground level. This is absent, which is absolutely required at the labor law level. Today when we are talking about the globalization, people are coming from outside India and looking for job in India, and many of them are already there. Saraswati Kasturi is handling many clients. They are coming from abroad and having the employment here, maybe secondment or direct employment, whatever it is. It is the kind of globalization, every law is undergoing a change, except PF law so far. Maybe of course lot of amendments are there in PF law, but when it comes to the compliance monitoring system, it is done internally by the department. But at this size of the organization, the globalization and the economy growing like this, I think it's important to delegate some of these powers or maybe compliance practices to be given to chartered accountants, because who are anyway preparing the books of accounts, who are anyway looking into and auditing every record there, why should not there be a reporting of the compliance for the purpose of PF law, so that the PF law, not only PF law, the entire labor law as such. If you look at, broadly, if you go to any corporate to do the audit, I'm 100% sure the labor law compliance is very weak. Very weak. I'm from industry. I'm the only person in this Bengal branch coming from industry and becoming the chairman, right? So I'm aware about this. Go to any organization, the compliance level of the labor law is very poor, because the most of the HR, sorry to say, the most of the HR being coming from the MBA background do not have labor law approach at all. Only few chartered accountants having some knowledge about labor law, they say, okay, this is not compliant, this is not compliant, why can't you do? But there is no systematic approach as such, because chartered accountants are not under any obligation under any law to ensure that these compliances are taken care to the utmost extent. Therefore, I think there is a need today to ensure in all the labor law related areas the compliance and that audit of that compliance to be done by the chartered accountants. There is an opportunity for chartered accountants. We need to create this awareness, and actually from the Bengal branch we are trying to submit a memorandum to the Ministry of Labour Law also to ensure that, look here, we will help you to get the better compliance practice. So this is the approach. Therefore, we wanted to create more and more experts in Bengal who can handle labor law compliance basically. So with these words, I would like to, before concluding, we have got important 2 days Karnataka State Level Conference called Samartha, which is happening on June 7th and 8th. The registration is already opened up. I request all of you to make use of the facility. And also our website, I request each one of you to visit our website. A lot of changes are happening in the website. Website is more and more lively. And today, number of hits in the website is increased from earlier 300, 400 per day to up to 700, 800 hits per day. So it's increasing because we have been adding a lot of additional features. The entire website is available on the mobile app. You can download the mobile app from Google Play Store and Insta. You can see today's program live in the mobile. That is the kind of technology that we are providing and bringing to our members, because in Bengal, traveling and commuting to branch for our programs is going to be difficult. So we wanted to ensure that wherever you sit, if you are stuck with jam in the traffic, open up your mobile app, see our programs there. That's the kind of thing. If you look at the sit in the office or look at the sit at home, wherever you are there, you will be able to see the recorded program. All the earlier recorded programs are available in our website. I request each one of you to make use of this facility. Once again, I welcome each one of you and happy learning today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, for your fabulous welcome address and the announcement of Bangalore branch initiatives. Friends, it is my proud privilege to introduce today's chief guest to this August gathering, Shri Maneesh Agnihotri, Regional PF Commissioner 1, Bangalore region. He is a graduate in civil engineering from BITS Billai and also holds a degree in Masters of Business Administration. He was also a Deputy Director Training in the Employees Provident Funds Organization National Training Academy and was associated with conducting training programs for international social security organizations and was a member of the UN Task Force for the initiatives in training for trainers. He took over the charge as Regional PF Commissioner 1 Bangalore during November 2015. The focus of EPFO Bangalore has been implementation of various initiatives of EPFO like KYC dissemination, and Bangalore office is taking steps towards centralization of claim processing of EPFO with a view to provide efficient customer service. He is also associated with Innovation Center of IISc and IIM Bangalore in various capacities. With this brief introduction, I present Shri Maneesh Agnihotri before you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming. Friends, let us seek Almighty's blessing to light the lamp. Now I request. Now let us seek Almighty's blessing through lighting the lamp. Now I request dignitaries on the dais and MC members to join the lighting lamp. Almighty blessed us. Now I request our chief guest to address the gathering.
Chairman of ICI Bangalore branch, CA Bhatt Shivram Shankarji, Secretary B.T. Shettyji, the coordinator of program Madam Saraswati, all the distinguished dignitaries on the dais, there's none other than me, sorry, and my dear friends. Definitely EPF organization, which has grown in its importance, in its role, would like to have a better compliance atmosphere, which is more willing, which is more receptive to the requirements of the clients, in our case establishments and members, that is employers and employees. And this august body can play a very, very important role in this endeavor. As a person from the organization, I thought I'll share my practical thoughts and certain instances which would emphasize the role that you can play, and then give you certain points about the compliance mechanism of EPF. because as I see, the program coordinator has already lined up a battery of great speakers who would be enlightening you about the provisions of the Act, the scheme, and the various leading cases. So recently, I came across a case of a company which I would not like to name, but which is inside every computer that we purchase. So in this case, this company was paying a host of allowances. There was HRA, there was conveyance allowance, there was reimbursements, there was certain other security and comfort allowances, out-of-pocket expense allowance. One fine time in 2016, they decided to merge everything and call it residual salary. Being a company of this nature, it was complying at actual wages for all its workers. But when it comes to international workers, till the time you are paying allowances, it's okay. EPFO will not attract, EPF liability will not be attracted on allowances which are in a nature of reimbursement or for a special task to be performed or incentives. But when you name it residual pay, obviously PF will be attracted. And more so, when you are not paying from 2016 to 2018, and from 1/4/2018 you yourself start paying it, becomes an admission. Then it becomes a problem for EPF commissioner, because nobody wants to pay the dues which run into crores of rupees. But I always tell my people who come and meet me, people from the industry, that just like income tax assessment, I am not an expert in that, but as PF assessment and fixation of liability happens on the historical data. What accounting entry you passed, whatever you fix in your balance sheet is going to decide what PF liability will become. So I am sure somebody from your fraternity, if he would have been consulted at that stage, this problem that the company came across would not have come. Because whenever there is a delayed payment, there is a damages. Liability for damages of 37%. That is 25% plus 12% of interest. So this could have been avoided. Similarly, another big corporate into computing space, one of the topmost and the best companies of the world, they simply forgot to capture the passport data of their employees. So when it comes to people who are of Indian origin, I don't know how can they forget. They are supposed to be the best in the world, and their computing capabilities they literally provide to everybody. So when it comes to people of Indian origin, especially the OCI card holders, it was there that there was something lacking. Proper audit of the profile of the people was not done. Again the same issue came, past liabilities, and past liabilities come with damages. Many of people who might have worked from 2008, international workers provision is applicable from that time, they might have left. And that additional amount to be paid into their account, we would need the Aadhaar, we would need the UN number. And as such, the problem of contacting them and transferring this amount, if they are still working somewhere, or paying it out to them, becomes an additional burden for the company. So again, somewhere this compliance part, as the Honorable Chairman mentioned, that view was not taken by the administration of the company, by the authorities, which could have been avoided. So there are certain instances where I find that a lot of good can be done by a proper guidance, by a proper audit. So EPFO, normally we understand it as a regulator, as a compliance oriented organization. But truth is, 90 or 95% of the work of EPFO is related to accounts. In my office, if I have 430 employees, not more than 50 would be devoted to the compliance area, rest 380 would be serving the customers and accounting for the accounts work will be done. Our basic task is to collect the contribution, account for it, keep it for 30 years, invest it, and meanwhile in these 30 years, person will take some advances for marriage of his children, for his house, for medical insurance, for natural calamities, X, Y, Z. Keep account of that. Every year, credit the interest, give him a statement of that, and at the end of his serving period at 58, give him his contribution and provide him pension. So it's a very long-term relationship. It cannot be compared with any other organization. For instance, income tax is a bilateral process. It is between the assessee and the government. EPF is three-party. If I don't take action or the company is not alert enough to pay the contribution in time, the affected party is the third person, the employee. That is the reason why EPFO stands as a guardian of the interests of the employees. It is a trust. We are a trustee of the funds. There is no provision of any write-off or any that of liabilities in EPF Act except where provided by the government as a special case or done by some court. Because as a trustee we hold the money, we hold the liability on behalf of that worker. It is not possible for the government to give a amnesty scheme, because amnesty will go to the company and the money of the poor worker will go out of his account. Given that framework in mind, point is that this imposes a certain rigidity in labor laws as far as EPF is concerned. We are not we are not nimble enough to change the law very fast. It requires tripartite consultation. As mentioned, I was working as Deputy Director in the Training Academy, and there I was piloting the previous version of the Amendment Act. I was the coordinator from the side of EPFO, and I have personally prepared not less than 8 to 10 versions of the Act, which was to the amendments which are to be passed. It went right up to the Ministry of Law and Justice, and from there to the Cabinet Secretariat also. And then later on the present government came up with some labour code. But that also right now has not seen the light of the day. The reason is that every step requires consultations with the labour unions and the industry. Having said that, it is not as if there are certain, as if it does not require certain amendments. Certain provisions have become obsolete also, especially regarding waiver of damages. That provision in the Act mentions BIFR, whereas as on date BIFR does not exist. So there are certain anomalies which I am sure the government and the parliament in the appropriate time will take care, because this is a dynamic process. So how do we ensure compliance? Just some tips the later speakers will tell you in detail. We have a unit called CAIU, Central Analysis and Intelligence Unit, which is located in our National Data Center, Delhi. It's in Dwarka area. So CAIU is an organization which analyzes and collates data. It throws up the data regarding compliance of a company and gives every office a list every month, which is divided into 3 categories, category A, B and C. Category A is more than 6 months defaulters, category B is 3 months, 4 months, and category C so on. It also gives us the information where the variation in contribution or number of employees, both number of subscribers and contribution is more than 15%, either up or either down. Companies or establishments which are in category A, that is in default for last 6 months or more, are liable to be inspected without any permission from the head office. And establishments which have this more than 15% variation, they are required to be inspected with the permission. But they fall in the inspectable category. So we have a very transparent system of allotting inspections. Government of India 3-4 years back came up with a very nice system called Sham Suvidha Portal. Shram Suvidha portal is managed by the Ministry of Labour and Employment, and all the labour departments which are allotted with the central government. The inspection report of any establishment by any of these authorities, by ESI, by the Welfare Department or Labour Commissioner or EPFO, it is required to be uploaded on the Shram Suvidha portal. So there is a LIN number, Labour Identification number, provided to each company. So my inspector, if I have to allot him an inspection, then we are required to allot it through Shram Suvidha portal. We will see the default category, we will see the priority. Of course, we don't have the resources to inspect all the establishments. So, due to various reasons, number one is the heavy load of claims that we have. So, we have to first service our subscribers, pay out the money, give the benefits, and also look into the grievances. So, in the grievances side and the inspection side, we would allot through the Shram Suvidha portal, and the inspection has to be completed within a period of 3 days. Now the practical problem comes. I have allotted the moment the inspection is allotted through Shram Suvidha portal, and SMS goes out to the company's authorized person, and an email is also sent. So that intimation is already there. But as happens, when the inspector lands up, either the accountant is on leave or the records are kept somewhere. If it's a big corporate, if the records are so voluminous that it will take 4 days or 5 days to provide the extracts. So there is some delay which is not desired. The government has mandated 3 days, the industry needs to come up, and as soon as SMS is received, our inspection pro forma, I have never seen that the company should fill up the inspection pro forma, keep it ready. Why? If there is nothing to hide, and inspection pro forma is available on the website, you have the intimation, you fill it up, keep it ready, and the inspector will come and do a test check and give it. And that too, inspections happen very few and far. It's not very regular, except in cases where it is seriously demanded. There are companies which have not been touched for 6 years, 7, 8, 8 years. We are happy about it. Good compliant companies, we wouldn't like to even touch them. We are happy to give them full service. So this system of Shram Suvidha is a very transparent system, and through this the inspection report is available. Copy of the inspection report, whatever comes, is given to the establishment. If it is not given, the establishment has every right to ask for it for their records. Now there are a lot of parallels between, or I would rather use the word, this act has adopted a lot of provisions from the income tax. Number one is our assessment proceedings. If and when there is a liability reported by the inspector during the inspection, or there is a likely default, that so and so 100 number of employees who are employed in different workshops of the company all over India have not been enrolled because the company feels that they are contract employees, individual contracts. This is the issue to be decided by the Assistant Commissioner or by the Regional Commissioner in an inquiry which we call Section 7 inquiry. So this Section 7 inquiry is assessment proceeding, which is quasi-judicial proceeding, and the authority, 7 authority, has been vested with the powers of a court, civil court, for the purpose of holding this inquiry. So basic process is the same. The record, we give the inspector's report, the company has to give a reply why the liability is not there. The inspection will be done again, and the reply will be given and by the company, and a decision and order is passed, which is an appealable order and which can be appealed in CGIT, and it's very open process. However, in this process, somebody has to represent the establishment before the commission. Who should it be? So in this gathering, there is some scope for improving that representation part by the companies. We have from the company side one authorized signatory whose job is routine job of attesting claims or writing letters. He is supposed to sign. Second, we have Form 5A, which is an ownership return. The company nominates its top people. It may be directors, it may be some other very senior responsible person, his address, and so that's an ownership return. And there is no bar on who appears during the 7A representing the company. However, in EPF Act, there is no system of any recognized intermediaries. There is no system of any filers. There is no system of, as already mentioned, chartered accountants being mentioned in that. Maybe it has not moved with the times. However, if the company's authorized signatory authorizes somebody to appear, then it is normally accepted that the said person, who can be chartered accountant also, can appear and make presentations. And it is preferred that the company's manager or somebody who day-to-day deals with the PF also appears with him, so that there is a proper consultation. That having said, the other processes where we have adopted from Income Tax Act is our recovery processes, where the certificate proceeding rules of income tax, the EPF recovery officer is nominated in the said act, and in case of recovery proceedings, the same process applies as in the Income Tax Act. The recovery officer is supposed to issue show cause notice and give opportunity to the companies and to the defaulter to give his side of the his version. A 7A proceeding should normally end in 3 months, 6 months, but my experience says that due to lack of knowledge, or the other side of it, if a default has happened, somebody who's sitting before me from the management of the company, maybe HR as he mentioned, he's somewhere responsible for that default. So there is an obstinate attitude. And it would definitely help us if the person representing the company has the knowledge, has the ability to understand our point of view, and either represent to the department that our stand is wrong because the accounts are not of that nature, or if our stand is correct, let the company know that the liability is definitely. It would definitely help. It would help us to finish off the proceedings within 3 months at the most, or if required even single hearing also it gets over if the liability is admitted. There you have a big role to play. In case of exempted establishment. Now what is an exempted establishment? That will be told to you. I will just tell you what is the importance of being an exempted establishment. There are about 7,50,000 odd establishments covered, registered with EPF all over India. But the number of exempted establishment is about 2,200 only. So it's a very special status. It is a delegated legislation. Instead of statutory scheme being applicable, the company's own scheme is applicable. And in that case, EPFO stands as a regulator. We audit the working of the trust once a year. That team has to be headed by an assistant commissioner minimum. And we have issued certain guidelines, certain model rules under which the trust has to function. Often I have found that there is some gap in the understanding of the trust, of the rules, regulations. For instance, repaying to the international workers. Till the age of 58, no amount can be, no PF, nothing can be given back to the international worker. But there are instances where the trust, in a routine manner, the application came, they have paid out. It creates a complication. It is a non-compliance. Second very big area which has come into focus is the quality of the assets held by the trust. The bonds. There are a lot of companies who have invested in bonds which are below the proper category of investment. The EPF Act provides that if there is any loss to the trust, the company is required to make up the loss. So as far as RPFC is concerned, the moment we notice any delay in payment, we impose damages. The payment is from the company to its own trust. There is no PF coming to the RPFC. But then that trust, those employees stand at par with my direct subscribers. So we have to take care of that. Second, the bonds that were purchased have become junk. There are a lot of them, PSIDC, UP Nirman Nigam, MP State Industries Development Corporation, and latest is ILNFS. So there, at least in ILFS, I can say it was a surprise for everybody. But in other cases, the companies did not notice, or in spite of having noticed, they did not take any action to sell off the bonds even at a discounted rate till it had some value. And after there's total default, they have pulled in the baby, so to say. And in some case, the bonds have become totally illiquid, and we have advised the companies to pay the dues, pay that amount with interest, whatever was the bond amount, from the company's side to the trust. There your role is very important. We also have a system, the only place where CA is mentioned is in the conditions of exemption, where audit of the exempted companies has to be done, and the same chartered accounting firm cannot be repeated more than twice. And there is a provision of a special audit which can be ordered by the RPFC of the exempted establishment, for which pro forma has been prescribed. And we also, when we invite the bids for auditing, we also give the focus of the audit, that besides the pro forma, kindly check these points. There also we have been nominating chartered accountants firms for auditing various companies, and the fees is to be paid by the company under the direction of RPFC. So these are certain areas where there is a great role to play, but nonetheless, if this expertise comes to the realm of implementation of EPF Act also, it will be a great thing. It will be easing our burden as far as the certifying and the verification of the accounts as far as related to the labor law compliance is concerned. So that itself can be a boon for the organization, and definitely we would like more of you to contribute to this side, because you are already auditing the records of the companies. Please also look into these areas. I am sure the companies will be more than happy to do it, and if there is anything we can help you out in this, definitely our organization, our office is there to guide in this. So as the chairman sir had said, so I was reading a quotation that perfection belongs to the gods. A man can never be perfect, but as a second best, he can be chartered accountant. So that is the expectation the society has from you. That is the standards the society, the government has fixed for you. I am very happy that there is a body of these intellectuals who is doing this job, and I am grateful for being invited here. I am grateful to you, sir, and to all of you for giving me a patient hearing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Very informative and inspiring speech. Thank the speaker. A round of applause. Now, if you have any relevant questions, please pose it to your commissioner. If he is happy to answer that. Any questions?
In one of the companies, the employees actually it is a service providing company. They take employees, they train them for 2 to 3 months. Okay. After that, if the employee clears some level, means they give test after 3 months. If he clears the test, he is taken to the permanent roles. Otherwise, he leaves the company. So in this case, for first 3 months, his PF they have to pay, sir. They just give stipend to the employees for first 3 months until he clears the exam.
Now you are booking that amount for salary or stipend?
They are booking a stipend only.
Yes,
They give
then
10,000
then
stipend.
Then the standing orders
Okay.
have to be got approved from the Labour Commission. That stipend scheme should be approved by the government. EPF has no problem to it.
Okay.
But you cannot say this is stipend. Where is the provision? Either it is he's a stipend trainee under the labour laws approved by the local labour commissioner, or under certain scheme. Otherwise, we would treat it as a salary. Right? So
they should take a special permission.
Yes, they should make a scheme for keeping trainees for 3 months,
Okay.
4 months. The scheme should provide how they would be recruited,
Okay.
what would be the exam, what would be the system, and get it approved from the as a standing order.
So from PF office they should.
No, from the labor commission.
From the labor.
These are labor commission. He approves it, but once he approves it, we are bound to
Okay.
accept.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
In case of startup company, where there are a lot of delivery executives, they come from village areas and all, and when they ask for submission of your Aadhaar card and all, they would submit for the generation of your numbers. So in those cases, how to deal with it? Is there any fund with the claim department where they can submit across and they say like, okay, I have submitted the fund, and later on can be paid once the UN is generated?
You see, EPF payment is done only through the employer. There is a password given to the employer, and the payment can be done only through the employer. And I have seen the session, next session will take it into detail, but still I respond. And Aadhaar seating is required for any new employee who is joining from last April. The UN number will be generated only if Aadhaar is provided. When Aadhaar is given, there can be two issues. One, if there is no problem, a fresh employee, he is 21, 22 years old, first time employment, first time under PF, you can fill the data with Aadhaar and your number will be generated. In case he has already worked somewhere and he had a UN number which he has not told you. So there when you are seeding Aadhaar, and his name and date of birth there was filled wrong by the first employer, not seeing the Aadhaar, then there will be a mismatch. Mismatch you have to tackle. There are two systems. If the date of birth change is less than 12 months and the name change is minor, right? It is Maneesh Agnihotri or M Agnihotri. That type of name change is there. You can do it online. There is a system you have to upload and our office will approve it. If the name and date of birth change is in line with Aadhaar, after जो भी है, you are bringing it wrong to correct as per Aadhaar, this is approved. If it is more than 1 year, you have to file a joint request along with some documents like date of birth certificate or SLC certificate. Now, till Aadhaar seeding is done and UN is generated, money cannot be paid. So that's a process to prevent people from not giving this data, and the delay that is there will be liable for damages. Damages and interest, penalties.
But it's not a default of the company, it's a default of the staff who is not submitted the Aadhaar. It's a practical challenge which comes across when delivery executive
I normally advise that the joining kit should be issued only after Aadhaar seeding, Aadhaar verification is done. Because look, damages and interest is, again I perhaps should have said this point. What is damages and interest under PF? If I am receiving money for 2015, defaulted amount in case of international worker or domestic worker on some allowances, from 2015 to 2019 now, I am liable to give interest from 2015. I will credit the amount as if received in 1/4/2015, 1/5/2015, give full interest up to date. So that again, as I said, we are a custodian of the employee's interest. So when we give interest, I cannot charge to the next person's PF account. I cannot charge to my administrative account. It has to be paid by the company. So it is a compulsory interest. Of course, there is a slight element of penalty in it. You may say 10% or so. Whereas what we are taking is we are already crediting to the employee. So whenever people avoid paying PF, especially smaller companies, 50, 30, 40%, I tell the owner, this is not a tax. What you are giving me, within a month it will show in your driver's account, in your chowkidar's account, in your worker's account. This is something you are giving to your own people. It's not going to the government. So this is something I agree, but you have to have a more robust joining system. Otherwise, EPFO is very clear about it. There is a system and you have to give these. Why Aadhaar? Aadhaar is so that the correct person gets the correct amount of money. There is a case where one construction company, the contractor was complying the company's account, a huge company. They have given the wrong account numbers. And in those days we did not have this Aadhaar and online system. Money has gone to the other person's account. Of course, they say the contractor has taken the money, he says I have distributed. He said none of it. Either you pay back the money so that we can recredit, so 36 lakhs was recovered, or we go to the CBI. So this, with Aadhaar, you are reducing your liability as an employer. Once Aadhaar seeding is done, online claims are coming, it is between me and the subscriber, the employer's liability is over.
So while this Aadhaar seeding is a good initiative, the PF offices are not issuing COCs if Aadhaar seeding is not done. And COCs has to be submitted overseas. And this is posing a bit of a problem. Whereas Aadhaar is mentioned in this UC application. In those cases, at least as an exception, COC can be issued.
No, you are talking of a person, UN number is required, is it not? So UN can be generated without Aadhaar also.
Yes, but because of this name change and whatever, there are rules.
But the Aadhaar name is Aadhaar number excluded.
That data mismatch. India is the only country where you have one name in UN, one name in Aadhaar, other in PAN, and fourth in somewhere in passport. So we have to
Wedding invitation.
So we have to bring it in line. I mean, we have such cases. What I suggest, you can bring ask the companies to submit separately, and we will expedite, because not too many COCs come. We have online requests coming, but these cases we can process on priority.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
With respect to this stipend, many MTech courses have this in curriculum that they have to go on training, say for 9 months or 1 year. And even in that cases, it's essential that we have to register with the Labour Commission.
No. This is part of your curriculum. They have the name article. No.
Only
This is, but this should be project. It is for transparency so that nobody misuses it. So, if there is a scheme framed by somebody, or there is a letter or a circular, it will help in case of a question being asked. Otherwise, normally we understand, even in hotel management institutes, they are required to go to hotels. And we don't do it. But it's better if some kind of a scheme or a letter from that institute is there. It is better.
There is some problem in private sector companies. Employees moving across cities. So, for example, employees working in Hyderabad earlier. Now he comes to Bangalore. Now he wants to, the head office is in Hyderabad, administration of all the PF is being done in Hyderabad. But employee is in Bangalore. See, for drawing the claims, they say you go to the Hyderabad office, the local office that you are Rajaram, they don't what we call it. They say you go to employer. For withdrawal, say, I want to withdraw my advance for house building or something like that.
Okay.
So what happens is, if we had some sort of like bank or a core banking solution, you go to any bank branch, you withdraw the money easily, you can do it.
I got it. Now, perhaps there is some anomaly, because now we are accepting only online claims, right? So online claim can be or has to be filed from anywhere. It is to be filed by the employee, and where Aadhaar seeding is done and all KYCs are in order, only there online claim will come. So online claim means that it can be filed from anywhere. So that system is in place for the last 1 year or so. Earlier we had this system where authorized signatory was required to attest the claim. Say EPFO till now did not have any data of the subscriber. Employer used to enroll the employee for the EPFO. So old system was that claim form has to be submitted to the establishment. Establishment will attest it, come to our office, we will verify the signatures. If it tallies, we will process it. Does not tally, it is returned. Now all that is gone. Online claims only are accepted, and so this system is already in place for about a year with e-claims.
Just to follow up to that question, during this intervening period when the seeding is not yet done, and the company has already onboarded, I did hear you that you should onboard something which till such time the Aadhaar is also seeded. But can a manual payment be made?
No. Manual payment cannot be made. It is not provided in our system. In exceptional cases, when we collect the amount as a recovery, or it comes as a manual payment, then it becomes a big problem for us to reconcile it. Then the company will have to come back with ECR and provided we'll have to provide that payment, issue a check and link it with that. So that will amount, if you pay that, that will amount to some administrative procedures for which your people will have to come to PF office and ensure that linking with that payment. Because I receive some DDs, say 100 DDs, not too much, but which 10,000 belongs to you, that has to be linked. So that linking becomes a problem. So if it is not provided, it is better to wait and pay it later. There is a genuine reason. If some nowadays though this damages and interest is auto calculated.
Which is why, to avoid the interest and the damages.
But there is this administrative problem.
Want
No. Authorized system is only online.
Filling of PAN number, is it a mandatory thing?
What?
Filling of PAN number.
PAN number is desirable, definitely. There are instances when they are linking Aadhaar, the PAN becomes delinquent. We accept it.
The reason I asked you is that online applications are getting accepted even if Aadhaar is connected. PAN number is not.
That's what I am saying. That primarily Aadhaar is required. So if Aadhaar and in addition PAN is also linked, it's very good. It's very good. But in some cases the Aadhaar name is different from PAN name. And I have seen cases where Aadhaar was linked, PAN became delinquent. It is accepted.
The reason which I am asking is that the online application has been rejected because the PAN was not.
Because otherwise, if it is less than 5 years, we would be deducting tax.
I am talking about more than 5 years.
More than 5 years, normally we don't detect. And this online.
I went to your office recently. I mean,
Okay.
there are a lot of confusion between the people. The EDP department is telling one thing, the case worker having different opinion, and the officer has two different opinion.
Point is that basically we need PAN not for our purpose. We need PAN so that the amount of TDS is reduced. Otherwise, 30% can be easily deducted within 5 years. If it's more than 5 years, there is no problem in it. Maybe then data record mismatch might have happened, but otherwise it's not required. However, upload of online upload of PAN is not provided. Reason is simple. We don't want people to withdraw money before 5 years. It should be an exception, not the rule. If he withdraw, he can always submit PAN copy to us, which is the system. We get a claim, we call for the PAN copy, and we take it on record and provide it.
Sir, I want to ask about a business case wherein IT companies are involved in appointing managed service providers. These are international companies or out of India they are operating, and IT company there is appointed a MSP, managed service provider, who is operating out of India. They are helping the IT company get professional labor, and these MSP have direct contract with vendors, these are suppliers, who onboard a particular candidate to this entity. Now, I want to have a perspective from the PF point of view as an auditor of this entity in India as an IT company. These contract laborers to, as a principal employer, does it come under the purview of a principal employer in the first place, and what liabilities can accrue to this company?
Well, first there are too much of data in your case. However, I'll just give you the legal position, which is possible in a short time. The principal employer is totally liable for all its employees. And the PF Act provides every worker is to be, every employee engaged in or in connection with the work of the company. Okay, so it never says that if you are a car manufacturer, only people who are manufacturing car are required to be enrolled. Even the housekeeping, security, and other people who are into it, and the liability lies with the principal employer. The principal employer is empowered to deduct from the contractor and pay to EPFO and then reimburse. But the liability will lie on the principal employer. If the contractor has a code number, he may pay through his code number, but the contingent liability will continue.
So there are 3 or 4 levels they've created, these IT companies who are operating in the international domain. They are not directly contracting with the contractor. They have 3 levels. One is MSP, then he hires a contractor, that contractor takes up the individual employee, he supplies it to the parent company.
We would see what is the nature of the work being done by those workers, number one, and again the TDS trail, who's waiting for whom. That would be the approach I would take.
Thanks.
Excuse me, last one question.
Sir, when the UN is getting generated, there is a common interface saying that demographic data mismatch. Either it results in name mismatch, date of birth mismatch, or gender mismatch.
I think I have a person from ADT side, can you answer that?
Demographic is another issue. They have to go to the Aadhaar center and verify the data. PI demographic.
That might be what he says is a problem with the Aadhaar. So sometimes that also happens. The UN data is correct, the Aadhaar data is wrong. There we recommend that send the person to the Aadhaar center and get it corrected, especially for companies which have high-paid employees and they have a passport. If the passport and UN data is matching, get the Aadhaar data changed.
So we download the e-Aadhaar from our website. Instead, they also doesn't get approved.
No, that is specifically whatever is there. You can someday come in contact with Simon. And but this is a technical thing that we'll have to see why it is happening in that particular case. As you yourself said, it is demographic error. It may be something to do with Aadhaar data or something. So maybe you're welcome to come to our office and.
We went, but there is a response is they simply lift the hands saying that it is error. We do not have any choice.
Database maybe some error may be there. And let us see with the HR what is the problem.
And the second thing is when we are supposed to approve a bank account, our name, everything, always there is only option for approval. There is no option called rejection. Why so? Because employer also has a right to reject if there is a wrong database has been uploaded by the employee.
Wrong bank account.
Either wrong bank account or name mismatch, because sometimes they will also type incorrectly. It will come to employer, and also when we try to generate the UN number, it will show it as a pending transaction, which will never go off. And also whenever the request comes for the approvals, it will be in accumulation mode. If there are 100 records for approval, if one record is having an error, employer don't want to approve, then entire 100 will go for a task. Why so, sir? Because the employer is always having the right to reject, right?
If he is telling the data and it is wrong, he has a right to reject.
But there is no option.
Okay, but then is it checked that the data is not in line with Aadhaar?
Yes.
Right, this is something we have to check.
And this is being informed to
Employer portal?
Employer portal for insurance.
Employer portal. Okay, this is some software matter. Definitely we'll look into it and I'll get back.
Yes.
Sir, my name is Vishwas. This question relates to the recent ruling from Supreme Court on 2 aspects. One is including special allowance for the sake of coverage, which is a straightforward question. The second aspect is on the scope of pension. So can you just throw some light on this?
I would throw very little light because there is a session already there on this.
Okay.
So specifically look, you should understand the working of the senior judiciary in India. High courts, Supreme Courts are not bound by these small rules, regulations which impede a person like me. They take a broader view of things. Supreme Court has also taken a broader view of things and said that a certain circular, a certain cut-off date, that should not prevent a person from getting the benefits. Secondly, the employees are keen to get those benefits, especially public sector employees, because the pension rises manifold. And so they have brought in this interpretation. As far as the department is concerned, we are studying the judgment. As far as the special officers case is concerned, it is very clear. After all, 15,000 is the limit. Now you don't pay up to 15,000 also. That's mockery of the whole system. HRA, yes, we can consider, but there is a ruling by Supreme Court, I'm forgetting the citation, which says that the RPFC has the power to pierce the corporate veil and go behind and see what is the actual happening. If there is a manipulation in terms of the name of the allowance, or if there is a manipulation, there are systems where people have 10 workers and total somebody is partnership, something is this, something is a company. We combine them. That kind of assessment power is given by Supreme Court. So basically, the next speakers will take it up. Basically, have this view in mind that the Supreme Court, being the Supreme, will have a more liberal view of the legal situation and interpret it more in the interest of the employees, which is also said in this judgment, that it has to be interpreted in a more liberal fashion, so that more and more benefit can be given to more and more.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a detailed answer to all our queries. Thank the Chief Guest. Friends, it is time and our honor to felicitate the guest. So I request MC members also join the felicitation program.
This is indeed a privilege. This is a bonus for you. I think this. Can you get the picture?
Thank you, sir, for accepting our felicitation. Friends, it is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks for this inaugural session. On behalf of Bangalore branch of SARC of ICI and on my own behalf, our special thanks to PM Commissioner Shri Maneesh Agnihotri for taking his precious time and coming here grace this occasion and share his knowledge with us and answer all our queries in detail. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Saraswati Kasturangan Madam, for organizing this program and structuring this and coordinating this program. Thank you very much, Madam. Thanks to all our faculties for today's seminar. Thanks to each one of you. Thanks especially for all the delegates who taken interest in this subject and come here. Thank you very much. Yeah, and also our special thanks to PF officers who come here and share their knowledge also along with us during the personal discussion. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Let us move on to our next technical session.